In this video, I'm going to be showing you exactly why you're currently not making any money from your content and how you can finally solve this. And the main reason behind this is that you're not treating your content like a sales cycle. So to set an agenda for this video, I'm going to be showing you a combination of a content cycle and a sales cycle and how you can utilize both of them to ensure that you're creating content that is targeted towards prospects at the right point of this cycle, so you can funnel them down and ultimately get them to invest into you. So let's get into this right now. So as you can see here, I have the cycle, and it's a combination of both a sales cycle and a content cycle. So where I say unaware of you, this is ultimately going to be the content cycle, and then where they have unaware of the problem they have, this is going to be the sales cycle. And from this point in time, our goal is to get these people to be transitioned from being unaware of the problem they have and unaware of you to finally being aware that they have a problem and that you are someone who has some type of knowledge on this problem. But a key thing to note still at this point, yes, they may be aware of you, but they're not aware that you offer a solution to it. Okay? But there's a difference between someone being aware of a problem and someone knowing that there's a solution out there. Because a lot of the time in a prospect's head, they may know that they have a problem, but they may not be aware that people are actually selling solutions. So they're never going to have to deal with this problem again. And this is where our next goal takes place. We're trying to move these prospects over from being aware that they have a problem to knowing that they have a problem and knowing that there's a solution out there. Okay? This way they're going to take it upon themselves, and we can also help aid it with our content to show them that we have a product or service that is able to completely remove any bottlenecks they may be facing and all their pains. And ultimately, once we've done this, we finally got them to the point where they are ready to invest into us. So I hope you guys are starting to follow just from me showing this very high level perspective. And you're really starting to see the correlations between a content cycle and a sales cycle, especially at the top half where we're just trying to make people aware of us and aware that they have a problem and there's a solution out there. And this is likely why you're not making any money from your content at the moment, because all your prospects are currently at this point and they're not aware that you have a product or service. And it may even just be at this point you've made them aware of the problem, but you haven't made them aware that you're knowledgeable on this and you are able to provide a solution for them. Okay, so I want to show you a worked example to really further expand your knowledge on this and make sure you're following me. John finds it hard to finish tasks on time. As we can see here, he's unaware of the problem that he has. He just finds it hard, but he doesn't really know it's a problem. Next, he learns it's because he procrastinates. From here, he learns planning his work the day before can help. So he's finally learned that there is a solution. But just because he knows there's a solution, he still may not be sure that there's products or services that's able to completely mitigate this. And he may still think he's the one who needs to do it himself. John then finds out about products and services which offer this solution, such as Focus AI and PlanList. By the way, guys, these are just random business names I made up. And then once John has done his due diligence and found out about both these products, really learned about the ones which are the best, he is then ready to invest. So now that I've broken down this example, but I've only given it to you within the form of a sales cycle, let me show you how this would be related to the content cycle and how you would go about doing it. So John finds it hard to finish tasks on time. And what we're trying to do at this point is get John to realize that he has a problem. So John may type into YouTube as an example, why do I find it hard to finish tasks on time? Then you have your video where you're breaking down different methods with your core focus ultimately being on procrastination. Okay, so at this point, we've fully removed this part and we've got John to here. He now knows he has a problem and he now knows who you are. And this is what I need you guys to take note of depending on the type of content that you're posting, whether it's going to be short form or long form, you're actually able to kill multiple birds with one stone. Okay, you don't just need to go from one part for one video and then have to post another video to take him to the next, to take a prospect to the next stage of a cycle. You can actually do all three in a single video, but this is mainly really going to happen when it comes to YouTube, just because of the time flexibility you have. So if I kind of broke it down for short form, because a video is only going to be between 30 to 90 seconds, it's going to be extremely hard for you to, one, let John know he has a problem, and then still have time flexibility to provide him with a solution, okay? And this is why if we just did it as short form, John would still be here. But because we're doing this example as a YouTube video, we are able to let John know that the key reason he's struggling to finish work is because of procrastination, and we're then able to provide John with a solution. So to recap on this, guys, when it comes to short form content, you're only really able to have enough flexibility to take a prospect from being unaware to being aware, okay? Just because of the time flexibility, as opposed to long form content where you can take a prospect from being unaware to aware, and then knowing that there is a solution out there. And this is down to the fact that you have more time flexibility. So we're now at this point. John knows about us. He knows that a solution exists for the reason why he procrastinates, and he knows that we're experts when it comes to all things productivity. But at this point, he may not know that we actually have a service purely dedicated to solving people's productivity issues. And this is where we need to start nurturing him and taking him down to this part. And it's all going to be from awareness and nurture, okay? So let me walk you through the multiple ways we can do this. First and foremost, we can do it through call to actions at the end of our videos. But where most people go wrong is that they do a call to action in a video that wouldn't be applicable. So for Focus AI, which is of course our business in this example, we're all things productivity, and the main thing we help to cure is procrastination. That is our whole business model, completely removing procrastination. So any videos where we break down procrastination, it would be perfect for us to do a call to action. But let's say we made a sub-genre video, because in part of our service, we also talk about nutrition and how this helps to solve procrastination. This wouldn't be as applicable for us to do a call to action, just because it is a very, very, very small percentage within our service. And for this, it would just be best for us to get the prospect to watch other parts of our videos where they're more related just to procrastination as a whole, where we can ultimately do a call to action to them to go to the next stage of our funnel, which is of course finding out about the product or service, because at this point they're going to know that it's all things about procrastination, and that will really able to solve their problem. So I hope this is making sense. And now that I've given you a long form example of this, guys, because this is a long form content example, let me give you a short form, because as we know, it's going to be very hard for us to skip through multiple stages of the cycle with just short form content. So something that would be most applicable for us to do at this point is stories. So on Instagram, you have story features. This is where you're able to just post something. It only displays on your profile for 24 hours. And what we could do, guys, is get someone to go from our short form content into our long form content. So from our Instagram to our YouTube, by posting something on our stories saying, hey, we just made a brand new video that shows you exactly how you can get rid of procrastination. And at this point, we're converting them over to our YouTube, because at this point they are going to be aware of the problem. And then they're watching the YouTube video and they're finally becoming solution aware. And now we can take them back to this part where they've watched the procrastination video and now they've conformed to our CTA. So it's going to be a full circle, guys. And we've finally driven down the prospect to here. So they are aware of our product or service. And obviously, with most successful business models, we're always going to have competitors, okay? So you're probably scratching your head. How on earth am I able to separate my product or service? So in this case, Focus AI. How am I able to stand out Focus AI from PlanList? And there's multiple ways we can do this when it comes to our content. First and foremost, we have client interviews. So if you guys actually watch my YouTube, you click onto like the home, you're going to see I have a client interview with Luca, where we talk about how we got to 320k followers, how we help him with all things content related to help him really attract qualified viewers. By a prospect of mine, seeing amazing results of this, they're going to become a lot more nurtured. And obviously, I've also done this with Focus AI. And on Focus AI, what I've done is shown how we've helped over 1,000 people completely remove their procrastination and allowed them to level up in the business world, get promotions, make more money. And I've had client interviews with over 20 different clients where they talk about their amazing experience with me. But PlanList, they have 0 client interviews. At this point, who are you going to be trusting more? My company, Focus AI, where I have tons of social proof with lots of different people, or the other company, PlanList, where they don't really have much social proof. And to help us further separate ourselves from our competitors, because yes, client interviews, they may do the job, but I'm trying to have a completely unfair advantage on everyone. We can also post client results. So let's say someone gave us a Google review. We could screenshot this Google review and then post it onto our Instagram story where we then highlight it. So in case you guys don't know what highlights are, you've definitely seen them before on Instagram. I'll just remind you. So this is the Instagram profile. So you have the profile picture, you have their name, followers, and I'm sure you've seen lots of circles under here before. So these are story highlights. So like we said earlier, you can only have a story for 24 hours, but if you highlight them, they stay here and they last for as long as you want them. So by us making story highlights titled Client Wins, we further enforced ourselves because these are going to be smaller wins such as Google reviews, them texting us the results they've got. And at this point, we're having multiple ways of social proof and really showing to the prospects that Focus AI is far superior than PlanList. And by us providing all this social proof, it's going to make it far easier for John to know exactly that Focus AI is the best one to invest into and that he should not work with PlanList at all. So guys, now that we've covered all of this, I hope you found this video extremely useful. And before I do end it, I do want to just recap on some key things for you guys to take away and implement, because I can promise you, you're going to be making far more money from your content. So the first one for you guys to take away, remember, is understanding the point at where most of your prospects are. If your prospects are just aware of you and the problem they have, this means you should lay back on the amount of short form content you're posting and focus more on long form content where you're actually able to provide them with a solution, okay? And if you're finding that you're not even getting many leads at the moment from your content, then you should be more focused on posting both short form and long form content. Long form so you can skip 2 stages of the cycle and you can get people, and then just short form so you can then get people to be aware of the problem and then you can funnel them into your YouTube. And I know you're probably thinking, but Joseph, why not just do YouTube? Instagram's always going to be superior for reach. YouTube is good because it's very intentional, but by posting on multiple platforms, you're ultimately just going to increase the amount of reach you have, and as a result, reach more prospects, be able to sign more people. So it's really a no-brainer doing that. And let's say finally, you have tons of people aware of the solution. At this point, guys, you really need to be focusing on being more intentional about your call to actions, knowing exactly when it would be applicable to let someone know about your product or service, creating content where you're posting client interviews, client results, constantly showing new updates about your product or service, because this is ultimately going to help the prospects know that your product or service is the best to invest into apart from your competitors. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I promise you, if you implement this, you're going to see amazing results. I'm currently using this for myself. I'm using it for my clients. And the best part is, you don't really need to go viral. Yes, we are working with people who have hundreds of thousands of followers, but we're also working with people who just have a few thousand followers and they're still generating multiple six figures from doing so. So I'll see you guys in the next video and have a great rest of your day.